Why is this message of I am God and you are God so important to me? Why is it so important to me? I personally have nothing to gain in getting you to believe me. But I do believe that you have much to gain if you were to capture this consciousness. I have already gained everything that I can gain, possibly and potentially, from this divine singularity consciousness, union consciousness. But I have nothing to gain in you believing it. The only gain would be for your own well-being. And why do I think so? Why is singularity so important? In an awareness of duality, where I perceive myself lesser than God, I am always subject to the laws of duality, to good and evil. I'm always subject to perceiving that something outside of me is greater and more powerful than me. And that consciousness keeps fear working in the background. We're always fearful and alert and on guard towards that other force. As Christians we call it the devil or Satan, that other force somehow will overpower us and defeat us and deceive us. That's the nature of duality, the this and the that, the good and the evil, the light and the dark, the peace and the fear, the love and the fear. So in duality consciousness, that threat always exists. That's why we are busy with spiritual warfare, because we are in that dual dimension, the third dimension. And we can never become free from fear in that awareness, because the enemy always exists. And as long as there is an enemy, there's always something to be fearful about, to be on guard about, to be distrusting about, to be suspicious about. You cannot enter into rest in the duality mindset. This is why singularity awareness is so important. The oneness with God, the perception, the conscious awareness that I am God. I am one with the Supreme Being. I am that. I am. And when we link our consciousness to this singularity, it eliminates the duality. It eliminates the enmity. There is a scripture that in Ephesians that says that Christ broke down the middle wall of partition and the enmity and made peace within himself. That's what singularity will do. When there is only a singular awareness, an awareness of singularity, God awareness, there is no room for an enemy. You have the awareness that you are the supreme being. You are the supreme essence. There is nothing greater than you outside of you. And therefore all demons, all spirits that previously held a stronger role, they don't exist anymore. They don't exist anymore. In singularity, there is only light, there is only love, there's only the purity, the pureness. No more the mixture of dark and light, but only light. And this can only be experienced through divine singularity consciousness. if there is only a single entity, and I am that, we all are that, the enmity is dissolved. The need to be suspicious of enemies is dissolved. The need to be suspicious of deception is dissolved, because there is no more shadow. There is no more darkness in the awareness. Everything is taking place in the soul, and in soul awareness, in perception. It's not real outside. A lot of the stuff that we believe in our mind is not even real in the visible world. They are imaginations, and imaginations create these things to manifest in the visible world. So, yeah, that's why I am so passionate about this message. And it's not that I live in denial of what's going on around me. I'm just no longer part of that dimension of duality. I have entered into rest, into the shalom of singularity awareness. There is only one God, one spirit, one power, one faith, not two spirits, one spirit, the essence of God. So, yeah, you are that essence. There is no enemy. That's only in your double-minded mental construct. Rise up, come up higher. Come up to the higher dimension of divine singularity consciousness. One other thing I wanted to add to this divine singularity consciousness message. Why it is true. Even science, medical science, will confirm this. When our psyche, when our soul is merged from duality to singularity, and all the threats that exist in duality, when they are no longer there, our physical body will respond positively to that, because it's no longer living under the chronic fear that will pump the stress hormone adrenaline into our cells and inflame our body and sicken our body and wear our body out, because we're constantly in fight or flight. That is going to be the other manifestation of this truth. Our bodies will recover their health. And if we would go on long enough in this awareness, if the whole world would catch on to this, humanity can potentially reach immortality. It was in the scripture in the garden that said, if you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, of this duality, if you have this duality awareness, you're going to die, because it affects everything. When you live in fear all your life, you're going to die. It's stressing your body out. And so that's where our mortality came from the duality mindset. This is why I am convinced that this is the truth. It can be biblically proven, but you can't see it in the Bible because most people have been indoctrinated into the duality. They've tasted and touched the duality, and it's running their lives, and it's ruining their lives. Singularity will solve all problems. All problems. Eat from the tree of life, which is the tree of singularity, divine singularity consciousness.